This November, cannabis re-legalization is on the ballot in 9 states in America. It's now already legal as medical marijuana in 14 states and D.C., and legal recreationally, like alcohol, in 4. One of those is Colorado, where since 2012 the cannabis industry has become part of the state's identity and economy.
A lot of people expect to come into our facilities and see people getting stoned or running around or loud, crazy rock and roll music. And in fact, it's every bit of business as anything else in this country. And we try to take all the precautions we can to make this a really valid industry.
Right now we're in our greenhouse. We have 5 harvests a year. This harvest right now, we have 477 plants. I'm expecting roughly about a pound a plant, which profits anywhere between $700,000 to potentially $1.2 million for the company. As you can see, they're fully ready for transplant. Nice, healthy white roots.
It's a new industry, so everything's being discovered, be it pesticides or how you travel with the product or how it's packaged. These things are constantly being changed for the safety of the consumer.
Much like any other farm, it is all about a 12 to 14-hour grind daily in terms of when you harvest, you then have to replenish those plants. And once those plants are done, you need to replenish again. It's a constant cycle. In Colorado, it's all about quality control. With the state looking over every aspect of the industry, we really need to make sure that we're on point.
It is an industry based on innovation. It's an industry for the entrepreneur, for the small business owner. It's not inconceivable to me to imagine a day where whole fields that were normally soybeans or corn or both will also be hemp or be cannabis crops.
When you look at a lot of regulators, their only interaction with cannabis has been sting operations, drug busts, going after bad people. When you really look at the industry, there's probably very few that don't have a corporate perspective to them, people that have been in corporate America. They approach it as a business.
It's easy to focus on the growing, but it is only one part of it. From the seed all the way to the sale, it takes an enormous amount of people in one operation. That's an enormous amount of income that goes into a state like Colorado.
100 years ago, marijuana in America wasn't known as marijuana. It was cannabis. It was commonly prescribed as a medicine and became more popular as a recreational drug after the Mexican Revolution in 1910 brought an influx of immigrants who were certainly blamed for it at the time. Cannabis was rebranded marijuana. In 1913, California was the first state to make smoking weed illegal. In 1937, Harry Anslinger, the first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, succeeded in getting cannabis banned across the country with the Marijuana Tax Act.
The Treasury Department intends to pursue a relentless warfare against the despicable, dope-peddling vulture who preys on the weakness of his fellow man.
He had his own issues with race.
Colored students at the University of Minnesota partying with female students, smoking and getting their sympathy with stories of racial persecution. Result? Pregnancy.
The 60s brought a wave of countercultural acceptance, and so Richard Nixon's administration responded with the Controlled Substance Act of 1970 that put cannabis on the list of Schedule I narcotics. This reinforced the misunderstanding of the drug and led to harsher sentences, continuing into the 1980s with the war on drugs.
By next year, our spending for drug law enforcement will have more than tripled from its 1981 levels.
Ronald Reagan reintroduced mandatory minimum sentences, and though only 5% of the world's population lives in the United States, it is home to 25% of the world's prison population.
We are a prison industrial state that requires our state to keep our prisons filled to 90% capacity. When they do that, they have another senator come up and say, our jails are overfilled, we need more jails. We have crime as an industry for profit in Indiana. I would like to see cannabis take that over because love is far better than imprisonment.
In 1996, California was the first state to get medical marijuana. Los Angeles Patients and Caregivers Group operates as a clinic and under laws that are specific to the city of West Hollywood.
My goal is to kind of take it to the next level for young people who are looking for careers to consider a career in medical marijuana, whether they smoke it or not. If they're interested in helping people or growing a business, this is the place to do it because we're still so new. There's so much groundbreaking stuff to be done here.
If California's recreational bill passes this November, Susanna may have to adapt to a new industry around her, but patient care is central to LAPCG's mission.
This is the dispensary. Discuss your symptoms, your issues with the bud tender. They can recommend whether edibles are right for you, whether concentrates are right for you, whether a vapor or something smokable is better for you.
That culture, people are afraid of taking over their world. I think they're going to find it's actually already been around them, and it takes examples like friends and family. And in fact, if we embrace this, it might actually help a lot of people.
This November, Montana and North Dakota have ballot initiatives for medical marijuana. California, Arizona, Nevada, Massachusetts, Arkansas, Florida, and Maine would be enacting laws to treat the sale of marijuana as a recreational drug, for sale from dispensaries to anyone over the age of 21. For more information on the proposed laws in your state, go to dreadfullykind.com.